The main reason most gold prospectors and other users have a pulse induction machine are dealing with hot rocks and very mineralized ground conditions. So it's very important to know how to ground balance your metal detector properly for these things. A double D coil is inherently better at handling ground conditions, better than a monocoil, so your first go-to choice is going to be the double D coil. We've got a couple different methods for ground balancing with the Axiom that we're going to show you in this video, and it's really one of the best features of this machine. The Axiom is a dual ground balance system and continuously displays both ground balance systems on the LCD screen at all times. As long as your ground tracking is set to off, these two ground balance numbers will never change unless you turn tracking on or if you again manually ground balance the metal detector. Ground balancing is a good idea each time you reach a new search environment to reduce ground noise. Find an area clear of metallic objects. The Axiom as a pulse induction machine is inherently able to ignore most ground mineralization with no problem. However, you still from time to time will encounter some, weaker hot rocks that will give you a signal. The easiest way to deal with these is to simply ground balance on the rock. So I'm going to hold the ground balance button in, and now I've tuned out both the ground and the hot rock. I've got a machine here that's not properly ground balanced, so we're going to do that first. Show you here. It's reacting to the ground, so I'm going to hold the ground balance button, raise and lower the machine, and it's now ground balanced. No problem with the ground signal. I've got a hot rock here though, and so to ground balance it and the ground, hold the machine up off the ground, hold the ground balance button, lower to the ground, and then over the hot rock. Back off, up again, and do an L-shaped kind of pattern where you're over the rock and ground, back and forth and up. And now you've tuned out the ground and the hot rock. Now you may run into situations where the hot rock or the ground are so extreme that you have to modify this procedure. So it may take, say, 3 pumps over the ground and then a pass over the rock, or 4 pumps on the ground and a pass over the rock to get it to work. Frankly, you may have to play with it a little bit, but the idea is get the ground quiet and get the rock quiet, and you're good to go.